So autotrophs include plants. In fact, that's all it includes. Animals have to eat plants. They have to take in molecules from other creatures. So that, in broad view, doesn't level 1 mean we're harnessing the core? Well, level 1 means we're harnessing all the energy from a planet. So to the degree that there's all that geothermal, yeah, absolutely, that'd be part of it. And like Iceland, they got like 80% of their energy coming from geothermal. So it's not like we're skipping out of that. According to what I learned, this is years ago, the U.S. has basically developed all their good geothermal. Like Las Vegas, for example, has some great stuff going on. There's a few places in California, but there just isn't a whole lot of geothermal in the U.S.
You had mentioned the situation with Trump making that passive comment about a purchasing. Where was it? He was making that joking comment of, or maybe not joking, comment of purchasing on the globe. Was it?
Greenland?
What's that? Greenland, yeah.
Greenland.
Yeah. Would that have similar to what you're referring to here with the geothermal?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I don't really know the details. I wouldn't be surprised if Greenland has some surprises because I don't think it's very well developed. It's not like it's really well explored.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Maybe some of the comments will have a clue about that.
Yeah, for sure.
So the plants or autotrophs are civilization. It's a heterotrophic civilization. We have to have. We are not making our own molecules. We're just digging them up, and that's our energy supply, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if we're talking about a situation where we're harnessing the energy from the sun, well, now we're just gathering the energy like planets are.
Yeah.
And so, in some way, Dyson is sort of implying that civilization is going to go from autotroph to heterotrophs, or heterotrophs to autotrophs.
Yeah.
So I want to describe something that Gerard O'Neill came up with. Gerard O'Neill asked his 1969 physics class, is the surface of the planet the best place to do industrial processes? And what they decided was, not necessarily. Because you have to hold things up in gravity. There are a few industrial processes that we can imagine being easier out gravity or without air everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened was that he and the students sort of talked about civilization and ended up coming up with this idea where the moon would provide the solar panel and the iron, and the earth would provide the people and the pharmaceuticals and the and some of the high tech stuff like the electronics.
Yeah.
And then the big idea was solar power satellites.
Yeah.
Where you gather the energy of the sun and down Earth on the microwaves.
Yeah. So basically just kind of act as a bridge mediator to store and then distribute effectively, right? Kind of miniature moons, which is effectively what the moon is. A fair way of putting it?
Yes. And the idea was that the solar power satellites, they would be in a trade triangle with the Earth and the moon.
Yeah.
And so we can imagine some far future where we have the Earth and the moon. The moon is sending ships with iron to Earth and into Earth orbit, where we have all these little satellites. Except, well, here's the thing: the Earth only gathers like 2 billion of the sun.
You're kind of cutting in and out a little bit. I don't know if that's on me or on yours. Hold on. Let me see something. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, try saying something one more.
I heard some acting.
There we go. Sounds all right. I can hear you better, a little bit better now. we can fight through any echoing. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
You're pretty broken for me, but if it sounds right to you, all right. Well, here's we can, as soon as you start thinking in terms of big ideas, it's almost like you can't. So here's the Earth, here's the Moon, here's the Sun. Well, as soon as you have a satellite out on Earth or out in the space, people can live, gather energy. There's no reason to stay close to the Earth and the Moon.
Yeah. Man, this is...
So it wouldn't be too long, basically making this cloud of satellites around the Sun.
Yeah, like just really like a little solar system of satellite stars, essentially, right?
Yes. Yes. And this is what Dyson envisioned as his Dyson Sphere.
Yeah. But basically creating our own form of stars to leverage or to harness the sun in a more effective way, that we strategically place in orbit within the same similar comparable orbits that are there already. So basically its own solar system for energy, right? Like,
Hey, we got audio issues, man.
okay. We're going to... Should we end it?
Can you, are you still not here to walk?
What's that?
Renee J says that the sound is still cutting out, and I'm wondering if that's still the case.
Can you hear me okay right now? Mm-mm. Nope. Okay. Yeah, let's cut it.
Hello? Are we okay?
Can you hear me?
What's that?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, and I'm wondering if anybody else can hear us.
No, I think they can hear us now. If we had some audio issues going on. No, they can't hear us.
They're annoying for sure.
Yeah.
Yes, it's still choppy, says Renee.
Should we end the video and give it another shot?
Any idea what to do here?
Should we end it?
What's that?
Should we end it?
If you want, but we didn't even get anywhere.
No, I mean, try to start it again.
My internet's showing 5 bars. How was yours? Nope. Renee says right now that's fine. All right, so let's talk about the Dyson Sphere.
Okay.
The Dyson Sphere is something like it's a hard sphere, right? And it's not. It's not a sphere. It's a cloud. And Dyson said ages and ages ago, we're gonna go look for an alien civilization. We should look for one of these level 2 civilizations. And here's why. Because I'm going to draw a little. Here's the sun. We're gathered on this energy, okay?
Yeah.
And these satellites, they have to operate the same way. These satellites have a hot side and a cold side. You and I have talked before about heat engines, right?
No, for sure.
Every heat engine works the same way.
Yeah.
As the energy flows from hot to cold, you can put, set gears in, or piston, what have you, and it gets useful energy out. That's how these solar panel satellites work vision. It focuses the sun's energy either on solar panels or something else. And then, just like all the satellites that are there now, would also have to have a way to get rid of heat.
Yep.
So on the front side, we have a parabola that focuses all the sun's energy onto some sort of little hot monster there. And then the back end, we have coils like on the back of your fridge.
Yeah.
And so this would create all sorts of infrared imagery. So what Dyson said we should look for, I'll go ahead and change this to a spray ball, is that we should be looking for what appears to be a giant infrared star.
Yeah.
That would be the level 2 of civilization. Somebody who is able to get all the energy from the sun would only be getting rid of the energy that they had to get rid of.
Yeah.
And it would be like one big giant cell.
Yep. Regenerative, yeah.
So in here is all the heat that the sun drives all the equipment, and all the waste heat and entropy would get dumped out.
Yeah. Like photosynthesis.
Right. You ready for it, Seeper?
Yeah.
It appears there might be some of these out there. This happened for the first time in 2015. The Kepler telescope. You know the Kepler telescope, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure if you can hear me, but yeah.
No, I can hear you.
Okay.
There's
a delay. So I'm going to nod my head due to the delay for most questions until that cuts.
You've heard about these extrasolar planets, right? Those super Earths.
Yep.
Well, the Kepler telescope are the ones who are, the Kepler telescope is the instrument seeing these. Part is most of the planets that it's found have been amateurs, just regular people who do the data. That's kind of one of the about.
Wow. That's awesome.
Well, back in 2015, the Kepler telescope found some stars that seemed to be covered with megastructure. Like they didn't want to jump to that. Like they didn't want to say, and here's a picture of it right there, right?
Yeah.
Kip's the core of a star. And this actually shows an idea of what the Dyson Sphere would be, where it's all these individual pieces connected by communications and transport. It's not actually a sphere.
I mean, we could theoretically build a star correctly, something that is self-harnessing.
Well, did you ever see the movie 2010?
I don't think so.
All right, so anybody who's watching, this is going to be a giant spoiler. Did I get my picture here? Oh, come on, what's going on? Apparently my picture's too big. All right, so stars burn faster or slower depending on how big they are. And I'll describe this real briefly so that I can tell you the story about 2010. So a star is mostly helium and hydrogen. And most of the action happens on the border between the hydrogen outer part of the star and the helium core. That's where the pressures are high enough. That's where the temperatures are higher.
Yep.
That's when the fusion occurs. The fusion creates the energy that keeps the star collapsing, right?
It's kind of like tension or something, right? Like in a sense of energy, right? If you were to think of it in that way. Go ahead. I'm not sure if there's a delay.
Sorry, you kind of broke up. Say it again.
That's kind of like, never mind. Keep talking. Sorry. I'll ask it later. I forgot about the delay.
No, that's right. So what I was getting at is that the size of the star determines how fast it burns, which kind of makes sense. The more material there is, the higher the pressure, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are some small stars, little red stars, that basically the age of the universe. They're still burning. On the other hand, a really, really big star never even forms because it blows up because it burns so fast. It tries to form, pressures are so hot, basically immediately.
Yeah.
All right, so one option that we have at some time in the future is pull hydrogen off of the sun and dump it on Jupiter. And this would have a dual benefit. It would keep the sun burning longer, and we might also have a second sun. And if you think about it, this would be, if we actually did this at some point in the future, this would be somewhere between level 1, level 2. Because now it's no longer just a single star, is it?
No.
If we could ignite Jupiter, we'd have a whole second situation. And in the movie 2010, that's what happens at the end. Jupiter has 4 moons. About Europa.
Yeah.
The planet Europa has 8. Oh, come on, man. Why is it doing that? Europa's ocean is 8 times the size of ours.
Is what? 8 times?
Here's Europa. Europa's ocean. Europa's just a moon. It's like the size of our moon.
Yeah.
It's got an ocean 8 times the size of Earth's ocean. The problem is it's also under 25 miles of ice. If we turn Jupiter into a planet, or excuse me, if we turn Jupiter into a new star, Europa would all of a sudden be this lively planet. But again, this is kind of pushing it way into the future. And the big question is, how do we get there from here, right?
Yeah.
I told you about the OTEC idea, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I learned that idea from Marshall Savitt. And let me go ahead and close up here. There you go. And it's like his vision and see what you think, right?
Am I still on delay?
A little bit. All right, so Marshall Savitt said basically we should colonize That sounds a little weird, right?
Yeah.
And of course, the reason is 70% of the world is in. The oceans are basically deserts.